Hello and welcome to the Charmed Life podcast. I am your host, Tricia Carr. This mini episode is an excerpt from one of our previous full-length episodes. This is an excerpt from episode number 179, in which I had the distinct honor of speaking with best-selling author, spiritual teacher, and empathic healer Matt Khan about his book, The Universe Always Has a Plan. This is so perfectly, divinely timed. Of course, you wrote it well before this pandemic was showing up, but the universe has a plan. Hello. That's what it says.
That's
we know
what the book
what's going on.
Well, even in the book, I think it's golden rule number 3. I channeled hardships can be fast-tracked through thankfulness.
I saw that jump off the page at me and go, oh my gosh. So, because here's the other thing too, even though these are the principles that when like you and like myself, we use it, you still have doubt every now and again. Like, really, should I be thankful that this thing is going on? Am I actually being discompassionate? And that's your integrity. That's, asking you to look inside. But that just jumped out and said, keep going. So thank you.
Well, as an example of that, every day because what I know as a healer and I do healing events with hundreds of people and thousands of people at a time. And then when the world goes to a place like this, I anchor and do healing work for the world as if the world is one group soul. Right. And what I have learned as a healer and what I have, been blessed to share with so many people is that when you build a relationship with anything, you are connecting with the consciousness within that form. So we have COVID-19 or the coronavirus, whatever you want to call it. Corona being the name for crown, which I love. Yeah. So coronavirus is a form it's the form a virus is taken. But when we create a relationship to that form that is of consciousness and benevolence, and we are willing to say, despite the form and the fear of what people think about what the virus can do to you, if I perceive value despite the narrative wrapped around it, I am honoring actually the consciousness of that form. And the more I relate to the consciousness of that form, the more consciousness I bring to the form. So as a way of helping humanity, every day, throughout the day, I say, thank you, coronavirus. Thank you so much. Sending you love and blessings. Because every time I praise coronavirus, I'm connecting with the consciousness of coronavirus. And the more often we all add consciousness to coronavirus, we ask coronavirus to return to its original form of consciousness, to uplift the planet, and we transmute it from its conditioned form into its original form of eternal light. So just as an example of what people can do in this day and age, even if you're quarantined, thank you, quarantine. Even if you've run out of toilet paper, thank you, toilet paper. Thank you, coronavirus. And what happens is when we authentically are willing to thank something that looks like it has a diabolical agenda, what we find is things that seem to have a negative charge are literally just giving us chances as angels to practice the transmutation process. And when we honor something as a gift by saying thank you, we open up the gift within it and return it to consciousness instead of having more unconsciousness to be afraid of and run away from. So I invite everyone, whatever it is they're afraid of, quarantining, coronavirus, economic collapse, whatever is going on in your narrative, thank you. Thank you, thank you. And as I outline in the book with so many incredible tools and exercises, when we embrace moments of thankfulness, adversities and hardships can be fast-tracked, and then we find how incredibly powerful of co-creators we actually are.
That thankfulness brings you into the identity that you did co-create it. And so therefore the mastery of it and the lesson and the reason and the learning and the purpose and one of the rules is that everything changes, but I have it written down here. Everything changes, but it can only
change for the better.
It can only get better. Yeah, it can only change for the better. There it is. Everything changes, but it can only change for the better.
Yeah.
And when you are able to embrace that, then again, you're stepping into the master position and you become entirely empowered with all of the powers of the benevolence of the universe.
Yeah. And just to add to what you're saying, I would probably say, just to be specific, I would say we didn't collectively create coronavirus. We created the opportunity to
Yes.
transform coronavirus. So we are creating what coronavirus can become
Yes.
as a conscious catalyst of evolution and expansion. But really, everything is created by source. And of course, we are source.
Right.
But the way our egos perceive it is we go, if I'm source, I should be able to control it the way my ego thinks it must work.
Yeah.
So yes, we are source. We are not creating the forms directly as people want to either teach or believe they are. Source is creating from a level that is beyond personal will and human comprehension.
Right.
So it's like a pitcher throwing a ball. We are the ones at home plate with a bat in our hands. We decide what direction we're going to hit the ball, what kind of adventure it's going to go on. Is it going to be a home run, a line drive, and not to get too sports, but we are the ones that are deciding with what source created beyond human comprehension. We are deciding what are we going to do with this. So when we say thank you, we are becoming the co-creators, not of something we personally created. That's kind of a human way of trying to
spiritually bypass or something
therapize
like that.
And go, well, I must have created this.
Oh,
in reality,
right.
We've created the opportunity to transform it into a higher vibration. But that doesn't mean that we created the original form that has come to be. Right. I think it's important for people to know that. Definitely.
No, I agree. Excuse me. And, but the fact of the matter is, as you said, everything is being created by source, but it's beyond the person or the will that we could possibly understand. And likewise, and as above, so below, nature. This is nature. You are nature. We are nature. And nature is doing what nature knows how to do, which is balance, which is heal. And that is it is only forward motion with nature. It can only get better. And that is always what is happening when we're in when we're in that present moment, that being moment. To watch or listen to the full-length episode from which this excerpt was taken, just check the description and you'll find the link. If you enjoyed this or any of the Charmed Life podcast episodes, I invite you to like, subscribe, share, or comment, or leave us a review on Apple iTunes or however you get your podcasts. Thanks for tuning in. I love you, whoever you are. I'm so excited to announce the 2020 Energy Intensive with me, Tricia Carr, and my partner, Crystal Ann Compton. The Energy Intensive is an 8-week, comprehensive program that teaches and activates energy healing modalities. This program is unique, it is brand new, and it is cutting edge. It's also perfect for anyone who's interested in healing and energy, and particularly for intuitive people, for metaphysical seekers, and for spiritual practitioners. To learn more about the 2020 Energy Intensive, click the link in the description of this episode.